it so that some part of it we can record. Now, let us look at a situation like this. A seller, buyer. Settlement immediate. What is this type of transaction? What sale is this?
Cash sale.
Cash sale. Very good. A, B, again seller, buyer. If the settlement is over a period of time, within a short time, settlement within short time, what is it?
Credit sale.
Credit sale. That's all we know. Now again we look at another scenario where settlement over a longer period of time. Over a period of time. B is a buyer. That's all same. So this is one situation, this two situation, this third situation. So in this case, this is not actually a normal sale, right? This is because for a short period, this is over a period, a longer period. Then this type of transaction is called a hire purchase transaction. And here what happens is that it is settlement is over a longer period along with, because he's going to pay after later quite a longer time along with interest. Along with interest he is going to pay. Here there is no interest element generally. Here when they are going to take a longer period of time, there is a question of interest also comes. So in this is called a hire purchase transaction or a hire sale, depending on whom you are looking at. Buyer point of view, hire purchase, but generally it is just called, seller, buyer anyway is there, and here it's called hire vendor, and here is called hire. Okay, these are terms that is used for this purpose. So this is the hire vendor, the hiring. Now, this you put an asterisk. So please write it down. Then I will have to give some notes. This is just the introductory part. I just wanted to, draw it and show you. Just write it down this one. Then I will. Against the asterisk, we'll have to write a note. Against the asterisk, you put an asterisk here and write a note. Aparna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I've written, you finish, just tell me you finished, huh? So that I can continue. Have you written?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Purna, confirm. I'll anyway send you if required this thing. So after this, again, Aparna, I'm just continuing. You leave some space because I'll have to complete this. Against this asterisk, you write here, interest represents. Against this asterisk, you write interest represents compensation for the risk of collection over a longer period, and time value of money and time value for money. So underline the risk of collection over long period, that is one underlining. After and time value for money. Both these things you underline so that you know these are the things why interest is being charged. So again I'll repeat. Purna just went out, I'll just repeat. Interest represents, please write down against the asterisk. Interest represents compensation for the risk of collection, over a long period, and time value for money. Underline risk of collection over long period and time value for money, both of them you underline. Okay, so I'm just erasing this. So now what are the components to this? Does it mean that there is no sale to this? Do you mean that when we do this hire purchase transaction, is there no sale? Is there no sale and purchase?
There is sale.
There is sale. Therefore, there are two components. Therefore, you look right there, components of HP, hire purchase transaction. So first one is the sales stat purchases, and the other one is the financing. Therefore, under the sales and purchase, you write accounting is same for credit sales stat purchases. Here you write, so accounting is same for credit sales and purchases. And here below this you write, accounting is same as loan repayment slash collection along with interest. So there are same component number 1, component number 2, two components. Normal first two cases that we saw, only this part is there. But here there are two components. There are two components. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Please write down, Venus. Aparna, please write down. Then you continue. It's a few things more I have to just tell you in relation to this. Then we'll come to the problem. Can you please write down now a couple of things? Then I will. Aparna, are you there? Aparna is getting disconnected. Aparna, please copy. This one I'll send it to you. So don't worry. This one I'll send it to you. Okay. So please, after this, write down the following. This I'll send it to you. So don't worry about it. I think I have copied it. So few other things just to get into the understanding of these transactions. So first you write down number 1, some of the terms, definitions or terms that we need to understand and hire purchase. So number 1 is hire purchase. Hire purchase. Against hire purchase you write, please write down. It is like this, you write down. It is an agreement. It is an agreement wherein the hire vendor, vendor VNDOR gives the right to use, underline right to use, gives the right to use, underline right to use, the asset to the hirer for a consideration to be paid in installments over a period of time, to be paid in installments over a period of time. Next, hirer. Against that you write purchaser, user, borrower. Number 3, hire. This is all we have seen. We're just writing it out so that you're clear. Hire vendor is a seller, financier. Number 4, next, cash price. Write down fair value, and you write down Cash price, fair value dash. Against that you write it is a price at which a transaction is settled. A transaction is settled over an agreed period. Over an agreed period. Comprising payments. Sorry. 1 second. Price at which a transaction settled between knowledgeable and willful parties and willful parties, WIL parties, in an arm's length transaction. In an arm's length transaction. Arm's length is ARMS, arms. Arm's length transaction. Arm's length transaction. Number 5. Installments. Against that you write series of payments. Series of payments over an agreed period comprising payments partly towards principal and interest. Partly towards principal and interest. Number 6. Down payment. Slash signing amount dash. Down payment slash signing amount dash. It is the initial payment. It is the initial payment by the hirer at the time of signing the agreements. At the time of signing the agreement. Good stuff. It represents entirely payments towards principal. Next, number 7. Higher price, HP, higher purchase price. That is HP price, HPP. And against that you write dash aggregate of down payments and installments. Down payments and installments. Next, number 8. You write there interest. Number 8, interest. Number 8, interest. Bracket you write financing charges AS 19. And against that you write difference between HPP. HP means higher purchase price minus cash price. Number 9, reposition value. Against that you write reposition value. The value at which the asset is repossessed, the value at which the asset is repossessed, the value at which the asset is repossessed by the hire vendor, in the event of default, by the hirer. The value at which asset is repossessed by the hire vendor in the event of default by hirer. Full stop. Such value is agreed upon. Such value is agreed upon at the time of signing the agreement. Such value is agreed upon at the time of signing the agreement. Okay, so all these things are finished. Now let us move on. Let me keep this free. So let us go to the problem that we were looking at. Problem number 1. In that we'll try to fix up. See, once we get the interest, then it is very simple. So once we get the interest, then we can easily find out these things, how to do it. Our main problem is to segregate between the two. So Venus, please read the problem.
Textiles Limited purchased motor lorries on hire purchase system over a period of 4 years. Rupees 12,000 was payable on delivery on 1st Jan 2019 and the balance by 4 annual installments of rupees 12,000 each on 31st December. Motors Limited, who sold the lorries, charged 5% per annum interest on the early balances. The cash value of the lorries on delivery was rupees 54,551. Depreciation at the rate of 25% on diminishing balances was written off in each year. Give the necessary journal entries and ledger accounts in the book of Textiles Limited and show how they would appear in the balance sheet of this company on December 31st, 2019 and December 31st, 2022. Interest to be calculated to the nearest root.
Okay. So here, let me tell you how to get. We have to break it up. The way it is, you have. If you don't have the problem, we'll come to that. But we are supposed to break it up in this way. So you write. Don't write now. Just I will tell you first. Particulars, workings, interest, principal. Okay. Now, first, what they're saying, cash price they have given. So we start with cash price. What is the cash price? 54. No, cash price. Cash price is the price at which you are buying it. Cash price. This is the price at which you are. It's up. What is the cash price? Cash price means suppose you are not going for HP, you go down, put the cash down, and buy the vehicle. How much you have to pay? That is the cash price. Normally we go and buy across the counter, right? Like that. This is a vehicle. Even there, if you are paying a check and getting it immediately, that is a cash price. But here in this case, it is not happening like that. It is being paid on a slower basis. Now here what has happened is that first when they purchased it, they paid 12,000 on delivery. So we will have to be careful that you have to write what is the date here. When did they purchase it? Any date there? When did they purchase it? On 1st January, right? 1/1/19. This is the date it purchased. On that day itself, they paid down payment. How much? 12,000. Therefore, balance is 42,551. Now, this 12,000 they have paid on the same day, 1/1. Therefore, this is there any interest element in this?
No.
No. Therefore, dash. Entirely it goes towards principal. Even when we have written down payment, we have talked about that down payment when it is made, that means on the same day some amount is paid. They are not paying entirely 54,000. They are paying only 12,000. Therefore, that entirely goes towards principal. Next, what happens? Now the next payment is going to come when? Now they are going to pay 12,000 when 4 annual installments on each of 31st. Therefore, after this, the next payment is going to come on 31/12/2019. Therefore, till that time, you have to add interest because the person who's going to do is not getting this money. Who's selling it? He's going to get it 12,000 only. So, therefore, interest on this for 1 year at 1 year up to 31/12/19. What is the interest rate they have told? Have they told any interest rate?
5%.
5%. Be careful. 5% is for yearly, half yearly. What you have to be careful, huh? Is it given 5%? %5 per annum. Therefore, for 42,000, therefore 42,551 into 5%. How much is coming to approximately?
2127.5.
To 2128. So as on 31/3/2000, this thing, what is the total amount payable before paying that 12,000? He's going to pay now this thing 44,000.
679.
679. Now that means what? On 31/12, this was payable, but then interest for that has been added. Therefore, total amount payable on 31/12 is 44,679. On that date, he is paying the installment one. What is the installment one? 4 installments. No, after this 12,000, 4 installments. First, this one is 12,000. Therefore, on that after payment, what is the balance now? 32,679. Therefore, out of this 12,000, how much interest has been paid, appropriated? This 2128 will be the interest. And balance amount will be principal, towards principal. What is the principal amount now? 12,000 minus 2128 is how much?
9872.
9872. 9872. Now, if you look at it, next, what is going to happen? Next, again, I don't have the space. I'll save this again. Okay. Now, next, what happens is, again, I'm just going to continue this at the top. Okay. I'm just going to continue this at the top. Just see how I'm going to continue. So here again, I'm going to write. It is continuing. It is not. I'm just writing at the bottom. Assume that I'm writing at the bottom. So where did we stop? Balance on 31/12/99. After the payment. After payment, what is the balance you've got?
32,679.
32,679. Now after this, the next payment is going to come when? Next payment, when is it going to come? 31/12/2000. Sorry, not this 19, right? 20. Therefore, again add interest for 1 year for 1 year up to 31/12/2020. So on this you calculate at the rate of 5%. What is the interest here? Calculate on 32,000 something. How much is the interest coming to?
1,634.
1634. Therefore, you have to add this. What is the total amount? 34. So this is installment 2. How much is coming to? 34. 313.
313.
313. Now, next what is happening on 31/12? Repayment next less installment. This is not installment. This installment 2 is going to be paid. Right? How much is that? 12,000. When that is being paid, out of that, this much is 1634 is your interest, and the difference is how much? 12,000 minus 1634.
10,366.
10,360. Similarly, you have to do for next 2 more installments. Okay, and tell me what is your total interest, what is your principal. Can you try from the beginning? Same way. Again, same thing you have to repeat for 2 more installments, just the same way. Okay, I'll just leave it so that you can see it and do it, and 5 minutes it will get cut. I think hardly 5 minutes you've got. So it will get cut, then probably in about 7:45 I will come back. Okay, 7:36 now. So in about 7:45 I'll come back. By the time you complete it, and we'll continue. Okay. Yeah, just try it out the same way you tried for all this thing you do. All the 4 installments. I have already done 2 installments. You try to do the other 2 also. I mean, start from the beginning. If you have not done already, try to do it. Yes, you're not able to see. So let me erase this and explain how the recording of entries has to be done. All of you are clear with this? How to calculate break? So basically what you are doing is you're calculating interest and breaking the total installments. So what is your hire purchase price here? Can you tell me what is your hire purchase price? HPP price? It is 12,000 down payment plus 12,000 into 4 installments. So that is 60,000. Now to confirm this, you check these 2 totals. This is the cash price plus interest. Is it totaling to 60,000?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the meaning. That means the 60,000 that you have paid over 4 years or something, it has got an element of interest as well as the principal. Had you gone and paid it directly and cash immediately, then you need to pay only 54,551. Now because you have delayed it over a period of time, in not a short period where you get a credit period like debtors, they get credit period. Not like that. It's a longer period of 4 years. Normally when you do a credit sale, do you think it goes for more than 1 year? Normally it doesn't. Maybe 30 days or maximum 40 days. That's a credit sale. But here you are going for more than a year. 4 years you are taking to make the payment. So obviously that person has to be compensated, and that is in the this thing with the interest that is being compensated. So total amount that he is going to pay is the principal amount plus the interest. That total amount is called the HPP price, that we are able to see it here also. Okay, so that gives you a clarity of the this part. Now let us look at, please keep this data free with you because I am erasing this. So now the way to record it. I don't know how the material is given, but this is a standard way it is to be done. The material it is there, but let us understand how. So we need to understand there are two books. One we are talking about the purchaser. Another we are talking about the seller. We'll first learn how to do it in the books of the purchaser. Then we will look at seller. It is very simple, nothing complicated. So I'm not going to show it now. Purchaser, when he does, let us look at this example itself. So the year in which he is purchasing, the first entry that he is going to do is this. This is one method of doing. That's why I'm going to stick only to that so that you don't get confused. That motor lorry he has purchased. What is the price you are going to capitalize the motor lorry? What is the price at which you have to capitalize the asset?
54,550.
That is a value. That has to be the value. There's no other value. Now, if you purchase just on credit, normal credit, you would have credited who the supplier, the seller, who is the seller? What was the name of the seller in this case?
Motors Limited.
Motors Limited. We'll take a credit, this thing. You will show it as credit. Now, one way of doing this is every year now what happens next is the first, suppose, imagine. Second is the down payment. Therefore, Motors Limited, you will debit to cash or bank 12,000. This is the down payment. Then at the end of the first year, you will have to calculate interest. Therefore, interest on loan, interest on for vehicle, debit. How much is interest for the first year?
2128.
2128. This amount you pass an entry, and then again you make a payment after that at the end of the period, the same entry. Not down payment, but the installment number one. This is how it will go on. But normally the way it is done, it is expected is don't do like this, because every time you have to calculate the interest calculation. At that point of view, better make the details, and when you record it, yeah, Maria. So when you record it, the way you will record it is like this. At this time itself, what you need to do is you have to debit interest suspense account, debit. What is the total interest? Total interest.
5449.
5449. And that you add to the liability. You have to pay to this guy 5449. So what's the total amount?
60,000.
60,000. That is the only difference, the way you have to record in a HPB transaction. That means 54,000, credit 54,000, but you add this 5449 to the liability as well as interest suspense, not interest suspense, because interest is not being charged then. Next, down payment as usual. Debit 12,000 to cash 12,000, down payment, right? Third entry, do you have to pass an entry for, so now third entry is on the end of the first year. Again, you will make a payment of Motors Limited, debit to cash 12,000. I'll write the date. This is on 1/1/19. This is on 1/1/19. This is on 31/12/19. And this is again on 31/12/19. Now 1 year is over. Therefore, now you have to charge the interest. Therefore, at that time you charge interest account debit to interest suspense account, because you're holding everything here, right? Therefore, interest suspense account. So, what is the entry? Interest, what is the first year interest calculated? You calculated. First year interest is how much you calculated?
2128.
So, for that, you have to pass an entry here. Sorry. Two one two eight 2128. That is how you have to pass an entry for this. Same way you have to continue in the second year. What same thing? So that means this is only for the first year, right? After that, the repeat of the same entries will come. That is, this one will become 20. This one will become 20. This entry will be same. Only this interest will change for the second year. How much is the interest you have accounted for the second year?
1634.
So this will keep changing. Third year when you do, again, this will be for 21, and this figure, this will be same. Only the interest will change to
1116.
1116, 1116. That's how it will continue to, go for each year till the last end. At that end of it, what will happen? The interest suspense account, you would have credited 4 times. You were holding, what is the break of this interest suspense? If you look at the chart that you did, total you did, first was 2128, next one was 1634, next one was 1116, and last one was 570, how much? 71. So every year you are reversing from this interest suspense and taking it to interest. Second year reversing, third year reversing, and fourth year you are taking. So at the end, this will become nil, the interest suspense account. And every year you are debiting to Motors Limited how much? 12,000, right? Therefore, every year when you debit, how much is the total? 5 debits will come. First year, at that date, down payment debit. After that, every year you are going to debit 4 times. So once you debit first, from 60,000, it's going to become 48,000. Similarly, next after 1 year, 12,000, and so on. So ultimately, this will also become nil. So what will remain? Motor lorries. And motor lorry, you have to charge depreciation the way given. That that part of it, I'm not getting into that. That's a very simple entry. Is it clear? So can you just do the entry for these ones just for 2 years or something like that? Just try it out and keep it open. Then I'll come back. Because this is the entry that has to be done, nothing else. So please understand this. Maria, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, mind you, in material or some other text, they may have different words, but just concentrate on this. This is what we use in a practical scenario also. In a practical scenario, in our books also, we record like this. Okay. Unless you got breakup separately. So here, interest breakup is there, therefore you record it. See, the reason why it is that after every year, you don't have to, the party account doesn't have to be bothered. That supplier account or whatever, you just keep debiting 12,000, 12,000, 12,000. So what happens when a practical scenario, why we do this is, the client doesn't have to bother about when the payment is happening. Now, this is yearly payment. Normally, in a practical scenario, it will be monthly payment will happen. Checks will be given, and every month they will have to debit so whatever is check amount that will get debited, and they don't have to bother about the splitting this interest and all that. Otherwise, this 12,000 has got 2 elements. We saw that, right? When this payment was made, there were 2 elements. One is 2128 for the first year, and the balance was the installment. So they don't have to worry about splitting it up anything. At the end of the year, we look at the calculation and pass an entry to ensure that the interest has been charged fully for the year. So what happens is that the customer, the business doesn't have to bother about these entries on a month-to-month basis. Some people who are very good, they can pass it, but otherwise it's really not required. So that's how we try to follow this method in the practical scenario. So just try it out for 5 minutes. I will give you, just write for the first year and the second year. Third year and all, you can keep some space and you can do it later. Ledger account also you can do later. I'm not getting into that. That you can check it out later. Concept, get the concept right. At least for 2 years you write it. 2 or 3 years if you want, you can write it. Depreciation entry, don't bother, that you can write later. Depreciation, don't bother about. Okay, just write out. Just try it out. After that, just call me out. I am there. I'm available. I'm not. I mean, available. If you say, I will be able to hear it. Just write for first year and second year. Then after that, it's repeat. Even if you want, you can do the third year also. Not first year, first day, first year end, and second year end. 2 years you do. So, Maria, please read problem number 2. Let us see whether we can do the same thing for problem number 2. Please read it.
Yes, sir. M sells an asset to B on January 1st, 2019 on the hire purchase system at a cash down price of rupees 50,000 on the arrangement that the amount will be paid in 4 equal annual installments at 6% per annum. The first installment is paid on the delivery of the asset, and subsequent installments are paid on each anniversary of the date of delivery. The asset is to be depreciated at 10% per annum on the reducing installment method. Draw up vendor's account, hire purchase account, asset account in the books of buyer. The present value of rupee 1 paid at the beginning of each year for 4 years is rupees 3.6730.
Now, any ideas? Maria,
Yes, sir.
any idea? Don't worry. See this is what happens in the exam, we go prepared with all these things and all, with a lot of preparation we do, and we see something, my God, what are they talking about? Just can't make out as to what they're talking about. So don't get this is something which you need to be used to. So on the spur of the moment, you have to think how to handle it. These shocks are going to come all the time. So therefore, don't get, you have to manage it. That's what you can do. You cannot get 100% right. Sometimes you may not have a clue whether you have done it right. And I'm telling you with honest this thing, that whenever I have written the exam, I have never got all the questions right. Every question there was a problem. So that is the way you may have to be going ahead. Now here, earlier one, I just want to just bring it to your attention that journal entries we have done. The journal entry is relating to, this doesn't go there. Okay. The journal entry is relating to that has been already done for this, but the ledger account you're done, you can do it at a later time. Now let us look at M. I'll just close this thing, I think. For the time being, I'll just close this. Are you able to see my screen?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So I need to share it. So here, what we are trying to say is that this type of sudden issue that it comes, we will find it difficult to understand what to do. Therefore, we need to do a little bit of homework on this to understand what they are trying to say, right? What they are trying to say to us. So let us look at it. First thing, January 1st, there's no problem. Cash down, they have given price. So all these elements you need to understand on an arrangement that 4 equal installments at 6% per annum. The first installment is paid on delivery. So that is a part of the down payment. So out of this 4 equal installments, down payment has to be done. And subsequent installment are paid on each anniversary of delivery. Unlike the earlier one, here the repayment is happening on the first itself. So that means on January 1st, 19, they purchased it. The amount is 50,000, right? Then down payment they have made installment number 1. Then again after 1 year, 1/1/20, again installment number 2. But what is that installment? Where is the installment given? Are they given here? Have they given the installment? Here they have given installment 12,000 rupees in the earlier problem. Here have they given the installment? Have they given the installment?
No, sir.
No, directly they have not given. So we will have to find out the installment. How to find it? I'll tell you. Some clue they have given. So something extra which is not in the earlier problem they have given. So what is that clue that we need to look at? What is that clue? ₹1 paid at the beginning of each year for 4 years is 3.6737, which means 4 years at the beginning. Beginning they are paying. That means ₹1 paid now, ₹2 paid now, ₹3 paid now, four. Right? Now if you total it, how much is the total amount? ₹4. Am I right? But if you pay the entire amount now, present value in 4 years, present value of, if you pay 1111, you have to pay ₹4. But if you pay now, you have to pay 3.6730. Now, can you make something out of it in relation to HPP? What is ₹1? What is this ₹1? What is this ₹1 in terms of HPP? In terms of hire purchase, what is this ₹1 can be construed at?
Installment.
Installment. This is the installment. What is this ₹4?
Total cash price.
That means you are saying, suppose you pay all this here. You're not delaying it. You are paying everything today. Is that the cash price or this is the cash price? See that this thing. This you are paying 4 after 4 years. Here you are paying 3.6730. So which is the cash price? Is 4 is the cash price which you are going to pay over 4 years, or the 3.67? If you pay today, it is going to be 3.6730. Which is the cash price?
3.6730 is the cash price,
Yes.
and 4 is the higher purchase.
Exactly. That is the meaning in which you need to understand this. So once you understand this, then it is easy to interpret it, because what is given in the problem for us to do? Cash price is given. Right? Cash price is given. Therefore, we are going to use that relationship the way we have understood. So I'll write it here itself so that you understand. Therefore, if you look at it, your cash price is 3.6730. Therefore, your installment is how much? In terms of 3.670, how much is the installment? 1. It's 1. Single installment. We are talking single. Therefore, if it is 50,000 your cash price, how much is your installment going to? Try to understand that 3 point. So, what did we say? That ₹1 paid at the beginning of each year, you are accounting, again I'm repeating just for the sake of, therefore if you pay ₹1 each year, you are going to pay 4.4 rupees, right? ₹1. But if you pay present value, if you pay all this one shot, present value is 3.6730. Therefore this is the cash price, this is the HP price, this is the installment. So we're going to use this because we got 50,000 cash price. Therefore, we are going to say that when cash price is 3.6730, installment is 1. Therefore, when cash price is 50,000, how much is the installment? Can you tell me how much is it? Approximately 13,000. Unitary method you have to calculate. That means 13,000.
613.
61. So therefore, you now got an additional thing of installment also. Now you can calculate the breakup. The same way you can calculate the breakup. So I'll now try to do the. Have you got it? This calculation, that is 1 divided by 3.6730 into 50,000. That is your 13,613. So once you get this, then you can get the breakup of the calculation for. Okay. So now I'll just hold back for the time being the calculation. You can do it a little later so that we can finish the part relating to the next problem also. Same. So once you so therefore here what you've got. So can you calculate the HPP price here? Once you calculate that, then you got 13,613 into how many installments? 4. That will give you your HP price. HP price. How much is that?
54452.
54452.
452.
Therefore, how much is your interest total? What is your interest? Is equal to HP price, HPP minus cash price. 4544, yeah, 4552. Is it clear? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. So that means once you do that, then the calculation which we did in the earlier problem you have to do. What is that? The calculation that's particulars, workings, interest, principal. But only care you have to take is when the interest is being charged, when the installment is passed, just take care. That's only calculation. That's purely your arithmetical calculation, simple calculation that you need. The most important thing that you need to understand is this language. So now, Maria, you accept that is not very complicated.
Yes, sir.
So once you get that, see, if you get stuck here, there's a problem. That is what they are testing. And obviously, it is nothing wrong if you are able to decipher this in terms of a HPP problem. Then it is very simple. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Therefore, you have to connect the two. Now, unless you do it, you will not be in a this thing to anyway do it. Don't even worry about it. It's not possible. Therefore, we never expect that such things will come in a HP problem, no, unless you do it. Now let us look at the next problem. Please read, Venus.
B purchased a plant on installment system from Z&Co Company on January 1st, 2019. The cash down price for the plant was ₹20,000. The price was to be paid as ₹6,384 down the balance in 3 equal installments commencing from December 31st, 2020 at 5% interest per annum. ₹1 can buy an annuity of ₹0.367215 at 5% for 3 years. And the journal entries in the book of both buyer and seller, assuming the books are closed on 31st December each year, and depreciation charged at 10% per annum on reducing installment method, also show how the items will appear in the balance sheet of B on December 31st, 2019.
Aparna, we are doing problem number 3. We are going to just the way like the earlier problem where we tried to calculate this part. We are going to try and calculate this part. Once we identify, then we will be able to do it. Now, what is available? Let us look at the things that are available. Cash down price is available. So it is 20,000. So that is available. The price paid was to be paid 6384 down. Therefore, down payment is available. So if you reduce it, how much you are getting? Right? So this is down payment. This is cash price. So this is what we have to look at, not this 20,000 here, because they're saying, and the balance in 3 equal installments commencing from 31/12. Wait one second. So commencing from 31/12 is what is the, because you need to relate this one, what is given here. If you look at 1 rupee can buy an annuity of 0.367 for 5 years, for 3 years. So 3 years only they're talking about. Which 3 years? My God, she's getting disconnected left, right. So 20,000 and down payment 63. So this is going to be paid in 3 years. This is going to be paid in 3 years. See, that is the 3 equal installments. That because this two you have to relate. You should not consider. You should not consider the 634 at all. Okay, that is why we are reducing it and just checking it out. 13,616, how it is matching. Okay, now let us understand this process. What they are saying about it. Okay. Share this one. So let us understand this. 1 rupee can buy an annuity of 0.067. 1 rupee can buy an annuity of 0.367. What it means. So let us look at 0.367215 into 3 years. How much is coming to? Annuity means per year payment. How much is coming to? Can you tell me how much is coming to?
1.10.
1.10.
1645.
Whatever. So this is more than 1 rupee. This is more than 1 rupee. Which means that if you invest rupees 1 today, sub 1 today, this will give you 0.36725 first year. Next year you will get interest of 0.367215 and so on. It will give you not interest, repayment like that. That means 3 years you will get this. 3 years, 3 installments you will get. So the total of this installment is coming to 1.10 something. Which means if you invest 1 rupee today, you will be getting, these are the amounts you are going to get, which will be more than this. So in our context, our balance amount that we need to pay is how much? 13,616. That is 20,000 minus down payment of 634. 6,384. That amount, when you reduce it, you'll have to pay so much. That is what they are talking about, 1 rupee. That total amount that you need to pay is 1 rupee. And this is the installment that you need to pay to repay that. Because when you pay this 1 rupee, you are going to pay in different installments, including interest. So in this context, the way you need to look at is, so in this context, how you need to look at is that the third 1 rupee, when 1 rupee is the present value, your installment is 0.367215. Therefore, when your present value is 13,616, that means on the, what it means, 20,000, you paid down payment of 6,384, 13,616. You pay that day itself. How much you have to pay? You have to pay this. So that is your present value if you pay this. But if your present value is 1, over a period of time, if you have to pay each year, you have to pay this much installment, 3 years. So total comes to 1 point something more you are going to pay. Same logic, 31 is to be present value, you have to pay installment so much. If it is 13,616, how much is coming to 367,215 divided by 1 into 13,616. So how much is coming to approximately? Approximately it will come to 5,000. Approximately it will come to 5,000. So 5, let us look at it now in perspective. Let us look at it. If you are going to, that means every year your installment is 5,000. In 5,000 in 3 years, how much? 15,000. Which means that if you are investing 13,616, you will get each year 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Fixed amount you are going to get. So that if you invest this, obviously when you get, you are going to get 15,000 including interest. But if you want it in a fixed amount every year, this is how you are going to get. That is what its meaning of this. And using this equation, we are trying to relate it to this problem, hire purchase situation. What is what? The only issue is which one is what you need to understand. That is what you need to, go back again and read it and understand. Now I am explaining it to you, but it has to click in your head as to how it is relating to this. 1 rupee can buy an annuity. 1 rupee can, so here 13,000 can buy an annuity of 5,000 each year for 3 years at 5% interest. That is the meaning. Which means annuity means every year you are going to get same amount. It's not only interest, it's the principal of this amount as well as what you have invested plus the interest. Both put together is here. So that is why we are trying to figure out. So 5,000 is the installment in this case, whereas 13,000 is the balance at this level after down payment, which is what you are investing. Suppose you are getting it. In this case, is a repayment that you are going to pay. Therefore, in this problem, like that, we have now identified the installment also. Once you identify the installment, then you can do the same table that we have discussed in the first problem, so that you bifurcate the two. So what I'm trying to achieve here is that in all these problems, our main concern is to get the bifurcation and do the table. What table? The particulars, workings, interest, and your principal. If you are able to do that, then the entry part is very simple. This bifurcation is what is there. So first one was directly we could do, but in the second and third problem, some twist is there. This type of language is there. Is it clear? So what I want to do is, first problem, if you've understood, again do this on your own. Again do it on your own. If possible, I'll put a full video on this, not in the YouTube, but maybe in the YouTube, but it will be private. I will give it link to you in that in our classroom, so that you can see it. Google Classroom. Aparna, you have to log into the classroom thing. You are given an invite, you have to accept it. Huh? Then only you can see the classroom. All the notes and everything is put there now. Don't want to share it in WhatsApp each time, it will be difficult. Even these whiteboards that I've said, I will be sending it through that. Share this one. Okay. So what I'm going to stop here. So you need to try this problem number 2, problem number 3. What you have to try? Only this part, only this. Don't try to do any ledger account or entry or anything. I just want you to find out this breakup of interest and principal. Only that, nothing else. Or these two problems, problem number 2 and 3, only try this. I want you to try only. I'm not asking you to get it right, so that you work on it, spend time on it, so that you are clear about it. If you are not clear, I will again explain in the next class. But I want you to try on your own, and also try this problem number. Sorry. This one. Very interesting problem. Try it out. I want you to try it somehow. Everything, whatever is required, I've explained. What are they ultimately asking? Cost price. How will you do it? In the same format we have discussed. That is particulars, workings, interest, principal. If you are able to do this, then in this format you have to find the cost price. What is the difference between the earlier one and this one? And interest paid in each installment also you have to find. Earlier you had the cost price. You started with the cost price. Here they are asking you to find the cost price. That is the difference. So think about it. Obviously, it is not straightforward. You have to little bit apply. So before doing this problem, I want you to try these two problems, 2 and 3. 1 we have already done. If you want, you can try it out again. But 2 and 3, I want you to try and get the breakup of this way. Particulars, working, interest, principal. If you are able to do that, I'll be most happy. Try. I'm not, you go everything wrong. I don't have a problem. But I want you to try. If you don't try, then what happens is that you will not be able to get the chapter. That's for sure. Okay. So we'll close here. And